Okay, give me 2 cups.
Before we start the video, I just quickly want to mention that I have a new merch line out for the month of April. It is my Nerd Tears merch line. You can find this in my Teespring store, which I will have linked in the description. It will only be available until the 30th of April, so be sure to grab it while you can. It's available as t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, crop tops, all over print tops, and phone cases. So be sure to check that out if you are interested. And again, you can only get until the 30th of, I can't speak, the 30th of April. So yeah, anyway, back to the video.
Excellent! Hello everyone and welcome to a new collaboration video with Justy!
And me!
Be sure to check out Justy's channel. We did a video that has nothing to do with this video, but it was still very funny. I laughed so much that I cried. If that's not an indicator of good content, I don't know what is. So today, we are going to be doing a joint cosplay story time because this is something that we experienced together. And oh boy, was it a time.
I wish we hadn't.
This is one of those things where you think it was a fever dream because it was just so all over the place and just so unbelievable. But it was real. It happened. We have photographic proof. We won't be showing it because we don't want to give away like what convention this was, but it happened.
It happened.
We were there. So this is the story of our lip sync nightmare.
Yes.
Also known as like the craziest panel we've ever been to.
That's pretty accurate.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah. So would you like to start this off? Because you kind of, this was your idea to enter this contest.
It was, yeah. So there was a group on Facebook for this particular convention, and somebody put out that they were looking for people to join this panel, this lip sync battle. And anyone who knows me knows that I am the queen of lip syncing, and I was like, wow, I could win that, obviously, and it would just be a lot of fun. So I signed up, and this is like a couple months in advance of the convention. So I had to, you know, give my information, my cosplay page, I had to pick a song, and then I got accepted, which was great. And then I started practicing all the way leading up to this convention. I was taking this very seriously.
Yeah, you were prepared.
I was prepared. This wasn't a joke. So the convention comes up. We are there.
Yeah, we are there.
We are there.
We roomed together.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yep.
And it's time for the panel.
Yes.
I'm Steve Harrington, by the way.
Yeah. There were 2 of our friends and then me in the audience, and we lined up, and like this was a hot panel. Like there were a lot of people wanting to get in to see this panel. Little did they know it would be a shit show.
And I remember they were like starting to run out of space, and they were gonna make you guys line up normally because even though you were with me and I was participating, they were gonna have you in the line, and like there was a worry about space. So I literally just grabbed everyone in our group's hands and walked inside. I just took you guys in. I don't know. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that
Okay,
at
yeah.
all.
So I brought you guys in. They were gonna make you stand in line, and I was like, no, if you think I'm performing without my besties over here, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
But while we were waiting outside, before we kind of like figured our way in and you know what was going on, the person in charge of the panel started calling out to the group for people who wanted to participate in it. Even though the rest of us had signed up like months in advance and like in theory had practiced and prepared. They were just like, let's grab some random people out of the group to go up and do this. And then realized shortly later that they were going to run out of time for the people who had signed up.
They didn't really realize that very well in advance, though. They somehow thought they had this wealth of time and that they could pull people in. And like that would have been okay if they had those people perform last.
Yes.
But they didn't.
They didn't. Some of them went first.
Yeah, a good chunk of them went first before the people who had actually signed up in advance and like practiced and prepared and like taken time out of their day to get to this panel. Like it's just really unfair and rude.
It is very unfair and rude. And we're like all in. Now, if you're told ahead of time, you can prepare music, right? Because I've told you what I wanted to perform. These other people, you couldn't. It was on the day. They couldn't have prepared the music. And you're like, okay, so like 50% of the music was prepared, 50% of it wasn't? No, none of it was prepared. We had to listen to it from YouTube.
Yes, including ads.
Yeah, we got the ads.
We got the ads. So, and it was on the organizer's phone. So we got like text notifications during the songs.
Yep.
And like advertisements. Luckily, there were no advertisements during the songs.
Oh my, could you imagine
Could
a
you-
mid-roll?
A mid-roll ad, right? But like we had to listen to the ads before the music started, and then had to listen to like the sound of their text messages coming in while these people were trying to perform. Like, when I say this felt like a fever dream, like, was this even real? Like, it was, but it does not feel like it was real.
It does not feel like it was real. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it, right? Like, you had time to, like, prepare these songs, and, like, you don't even have to buy songs anymore.
No.
You can just get them off of Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So you just, what you do is you make a playlist.
Yep.
And you play that.
But here we are.
But here we are.
The panel had 3 judges plus the MC, and they, weirdly enough, there was no stage. This was just like a regular room.
A regular panel room.
Which, like, I guess is, like, you could make it work, except that they put the judges at the back of the stage behind the performer.
There was no stage. It was at the
Sorry,
back of...
at the back of the, like, what they had picked to be, where the people performed. It was behind them. So you couldn't see them.
Yeah, so they got to see their backs while they performed.
How do you
in a
judge
lip-
if you can't see them?
In a lip sync battle, so they can't even see their lips during this lip sync battle. Like, how is this real? So they had to judge them just by their backs.
Classic.
Classic.
Halfway
through, one of the judges left.
Yep, just said, I need to go, and just effed off.
And we wish we could have gone with them.
Yeah, I would have liked to have left. So the first person who went up was one of the people who were not prepared, that got pulled from the audience, and you could tell.
So this person starts performing, and I guess lip syncing like wasn't enough for them, because they started like actually singing along to the track. Which, like, it's a lip sync battle, so you're not supposed to do that. They weren't actually, like, singing. They were just yelling.
Just yelling the words at us. Only one of the judges, I would say, was a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, like, not even a professional judge, like, had done this before, but just a professional in general, being respectful. The other 2 made the most...
They were making, like, stripper jokes.
Yeah, this was an all-ages panel.
This was an all-ages panel.
Making stripper jokes, like... some of their critiques I felt were just like being unnecessarily like cruel or like had no point. And to be fair, also, not that they should have gotten away with this, but they couldn't see the lip sync. So what else are they gonna critique? They're looking at people's backs.
Right? It just was, yeah. The next person who went up did a really good job. But when they got to the back of the room, we had a friend who was sitting at the back of the room and informed us afterwards that when this person got to the back of the room to start their lip sync, because they start at the back of the room and then walk forward towards the front of the room. I wanted to say the stage, but there's no stage.
There's no stage.
There's no stage. So they start at the back of the room. Take a shot every time I say back of the room. And
back of the room. Drink your water.
I can actually...
Hey.
They mouthed the words "kill me" when they were about to start their lip sync.
Yep. They did great though.
They did an amazing job, and they actually won the contest.
Won, yep. And it's clear there was someone who, hey, had been prepared ahead of time.
Yeah,
they weren't just pulled out of the crowd.
Yeah.
There was a couple of uneventful things, and then a person who had just been pulled again went up and started performing to a song that really made no sense for their character, which, like, it doesn't necessarily have to, but, like, that kind of is part of the thing. Like, you dress to match what you're performing.
Yeah.
I guess just their favorite song. And decided while performing, without permission, to start dragging people up to perform with them to this song that really I don't think anybody in the room knew. I had never heard this song before. I was one of the people that was dragged up. And I was not happy about it. So there's footage of me up on this stage, up at the front of the room, basically, in my little Steve Harrington outfit. I've got my bat in my hand because I had been holding it, and they just pulled me up with it. And I, like, wiggle for a little bit at, like, the front of the room. And then as soon as this person, like, walks out of the way, I literally just whooms back in my seat.
Yeah.
I leave halfway through this whatever with all these other people dancing, and I just turn and look back at Anya, and I'm like, no. No.
It's just like, it's totally fine to have people in your act, but you have to ask permission first.
You do.
You can't just drag people up and be like, perform with me, right? Like,
I had no idea what to do. I didn't know this song. I wasn't prepared. So I'm literally just like what is that?
the other thing that happened, and like we said, this was an all ages panel. There was a cosplayer who started doing stripper moves during their performance.
Just full on.
Just full on stripper moves.
And like stripper moves are great. Not in an all ages panel though.
Yeah, if it was 18 plus, go nuts.
Yeah.
Do
Support
it.
you.
We support you. But as an all ages panel, it was just not appropriate. And there were actually people in front of us in the audience who like we started talking to, and they were young, like they're
underage.
They're underage. Like it was a mom with her two kids, and they were like 12, 13, like very small, and they were like, yeah, like this is really uncomfortable, and we're not, this isn't appropriate, we're not comfortable here at this panel, right? Which is like, it's an all ages panel, you shouldn't be doing that. The other thing that happened was the MC for this contest kept plugging their cosplay page throughout the contest. So like literally after every performance, they were like, oh, and by the way, follow me at, and then their username. Like they said it so many times, but they didn't plug anybody else's page. Like you can plug your own page as long as you're plugging other people's pages, but like none of the other performers who went up got their page plugged. Like it was just the MC promoting themselves
over and over and over.
And it was just like, this isn't about you. This is a contest. It's about everyone.
Right? And they were like definitely making inappropriate jokes with one of the judges, like really egging it on, really participating in that. Like
even though it's an all ages panel.
Yeah, it was rough. And they were just like, not even that it would make it okay, but they were bad jokes. They weren't even funny.
They weren't even funny inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
They did not land.
They were all terrible. There was always dead silence after them, which made it even more apparent that they were inappropriate because there was no laughter to cover anything up. It was just like, you know the cricket sounds in like TV shows when, there was crickets.
There was crickets.
There was crickets.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we're in the audience and Justine performs. Justine does a fantastic job because she prepared.
I did, and I made a very pointed comment as I stood up, because of what we had just been through and all this like inappropriate stuff. As I stood up, I said, "Who's ready for some good, clean family fun?" And there was just like this cheer around the room.
That was so good.
By the way, I chose a very 80s song to go with my character that made sense.
It was really good, and it was clear that you had put in the time and effort to actually like choreograph your performance, and you didn't do anything inappropriate. No. And it was good, clean family fun.
It was. I came in second, by the way.
Yep.
So I did very well. I don't think I ever got my prize. I don't think they ever.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I did not. So I started at back of the room.
Yeah, back of the
room. And I walked down this aisle between the seats to go up, and I had my bat on my shoulder with the nails, obviously. And then when I got to the front, I did like a little pose, and then I set the bat down, and I started singing because there's like a long intro to this song. And I did that because obviously the bat is safe to come into conventions. Like it's not a real bat, they're not real nails, but still swinging that around is dangerous.
Yeah.
That could cause harm, and you're not meant to do that with these type of props at conventions. So I put it down. And one of the first critiques one of the non-professional judges gave me was like, "Oh, I would have loved to see more of your bat. Like you put the bat down." And I was like, "Well, it's dangerous. I can't swing it around while I'm dancing." And they're like, "Well, are you allowed to have it in this convention then?" And I'm like,
just because you're allowed to have it in the convention doesn't mean that like it's safe to just swing it around, right? Like
wave it in people's faces.
Yeah, like it was a whole mess. It was a whole mess. So we watched the performance, and we're all looking at each other. Like the three of us are looking at each other, and we're like, we can't stay for this whole performance. So we decided to stay for 2 more numbers, and then we respectfully left. And the 2 numbers actually were very good. The ones that came after you were actually very good.
They were more people who had been prepared ahead of time.
Exactly, right? Like they did a really good job. So we ended on a high note. We leave. this panel, like Justine has to stay because she has to stay until the end to stay for like
Who wins?
Who wins?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did this panel go on for?
On for like hours. Like at least another hour after you guys left. 100%. And it's just more and more like people who were not prepared. The judges are clearly uninterested in being there at this point. The two that are left.
The two that are left.
The two that are left. The jokes don't get better. At one point, somebody climbed on top of, like, I think it was a table at the side. It was something, like, at the side of the room that was clearly not part of this and was, like, up on there. And I was like, someone's gonna die. Like, I'm gonna witness an injury for this shitty panel. It went on forever.
Yeah.
Too long.
And then people who had prepared ahead of time weren't able to actually perform because they ran out of time.
Yeah.
So, like, again, if it had been like people who signed up on the day could have gone after, that would have been fine. Then it's more fair to the people who did sign up, then they are guaranteed that they get to like actually go.
Yeah.
But they were all like, it was all jumbled, right? So people who had prepared and put in the time to like choreograph their routine and everything didn't even get to perform, which was such a mess.
What a great organizational plan. Really killing it.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that this panel happened. Like, it's totally fine to be like a first timer doing your own panel and like not quite know what you're doing and be learning, but doing things like telling stripper jokes and like really inappropriate jokes on all ages panel, not having the music properly queued up, letting people sign up on the day when you don't have enough time for it. Like, it's not appropriate and it's not fair.
It's not.
That's the story of the Fever Dream panel that we got to witness.
Panel we've ever
been to. And just like I can't believe that this happened.
Well, we did it together.
Yeah.
I think it really bonded us.
It really did bond us. Yeah.
Friendship forged in the fire of a terrible lip sync panel.
Yes, absolutely. If you've had experiences like this, like have you been to poorly executed contests before? Let us know.
Let us know. Let us know we're not alone.
Yeah, let us know we're not alone in this. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this cosplay story time. Please be sure to head over to Justine's channel for our other collaboration. I reacted to our Flag Means Death characters over on her channel.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about the show, so it was very funny. I basically just flounder the whole time and have no idea like what these characters are about or what their names are. It's very good. So please be sure to check that out. If you're new here and you'd like to see more videos like this, I put out new videos every Sunday. It would be awesome to have you here, so feel free to subscribe. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys all next time. But until then, Panda Faces, please be sure to take care. Bye!